Hello you guys and welcome to our channel. This is actually not a reading episode. In the past, on my introduction video for this channel, I told you that this was going to be a channel about my journey, how I've grown spiritually, and I'll be doing readings and different things like that on different topics about twin flames and stuff. And so I've only did a few videos that were not readings, and so this is going to be one of those videos. This is actually my shadow work video, part 1. So today, I had some stuff that went down today. First of all, I was out and about with a friend girl, and then I started feeling high and all this stuff, all of a sudden. And so I've had this feeling before, and so it was because that somebody's loved one was trying to come through when I was out. And so I don't really know how to do mediumship work right off the back or whatever, because I'm still learning. I've only been doing this for like a year. And so I came into my gifts almost 2 years ago. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back, you guys. I had to check on my frozen pizza. Anyway, I started this journey after my twin passed away, Larry, as you already know. And I started communicating with him at first. And so, but I haven't really been doing readings for nothing about a year or so. And so, so I'm really proud of where I'm at on my journey. But I still have a lot to learn. And so one of those things is like doing mediumship like right off the bat. I can't really do it that way because I have to shut down my internal brain. So that's why when I do readings, I'll do my readings and meditation, prep for my readings, and talk to my spirit guides and my twin, Larry or whatever, and he'll help me with my readings. And so they will all help me with my readings. And so that's how I do my readings. But anyway, this isn't about that. This is about my shadow work. I was just giving you a little background on how I do things. So let me just get finished saying this. When I do a reading, I will do your reading for you, and then I will have everything, and then I'll either call you, inbox you, text you, however you want me to, communicate with you. And then I'll give you what I got from spirit. And so if you're trying to talk to a loved one, your loved one that you actually talked to that came through, hopefully, or someone that just came through that you don't really know, that was really, trying to come through. So anyways, then I do tarot cards too. So anyways, that's not about that. But shadow work. So for the past few months, my spirit guides have been getting on my case about doing shadow work. My cat is right here. You might see his head in a minute. Have been getting on my case about doing shadow work. And so I've been kind of putting it off or whatever, and this and this and that, Klaus, please. Klaus Alexander. I told you he was going to come over here. Anyways, so I've been putting it off. And so I guess it's because, no, I'm not, I guess. I know it's because I haven't wanted to face my shadow. And so, they didn't really, force me, a few months ago because I wasn't in a state of mind. And especially at the beginning of this journey, I was afraid to talk to the other side. And so, I've gotten past that. But, we always come back to things that we thought we had, have gotten past or whatever, but we don't completely. And we'll come back to them until we do. So anyways, this shadow work, I haven't been doing it correctly. Well, I haven't been doing it faithfully. And so I need to do it consistently. And so it's one thing I haven't been doing. And so lately I haven't been meditating consistently or any of that. So my spirit guides have been getting on my case. My twin, Larry's been getting on my case. And my higher self does not play any games. She doesn't play any games. So she's been getting on my case. So, another thing too, a reason why, and when I came back from earlier, after I came back from somewhere with my friend girl, where I had this, episode or whatever of feeling like I'm high because spirit was trying to come through, I stayed that way. So I came home and took a nap and woke up or whatever, went outside, did some meditating and found out some more things or whatever about myself, and I'm gonna have to start healing my shadow individual sections. So I will go over in a minute what the first section is. But anyway, I was still feeling away because my spirit guides were telling me the angels were coming through and the frequency was high. So I need to learn how to live more in a higher frequency. Like right now I'm a little bit, kind of out of it a little bit too. So, but one thing has gotten better. I used to have really bad panic attacks because of this. I'm learning to try to stay in the now. I'm learning to stay in the now. So I won't have these panic attacks from this. And if you've experienced something like this, try not to have a panic attack. I know it's hard to do because it's a new feeling that you can't really control. And so, but it's for your higher good. And so we just have to learn how to deal with it on our own. And for every person that's different. But anyways, So anyways, I haven't been doing my shadow work really. And so I looked online, different websites or whatever on how to start doing shadow work. I've done a few little exercises and I haven't stuck with it. So today they were like, you're going to study feel this way. You're not going to be grounded until you start doing your shadow work. So at one point in time, I was feeling this way all the time. It was because I had something else going on I wasn't doing. I wasn't obeying. So my spirit guides pretty much give me time to try to figure out what I'm going to do. And if I don't do it when I'm supposed to do it, they will get on my case. And they will pretty much force me to do it, It's free will and all, but they will make situations for me where I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I do this or whatever. So, when you have a higher calling or whatever, we all have a calling, we need to do to fulfill our mission here on earth. And so, anyways, the first part of my shadow work is about some issues I had in a past life and some issues I'm having now. So, of course, my twin passed away 2 years ago. I haven't been sexually active since then. And this is my channel. This is our channel. So, I'm just being an open book. You can like it, leave it, whatever else. And if you have questions or whatever you want to ask me, you can do that too. I don't have any problem with answering any questions. If I can answer them, I will. So, anyways, haven't had that or whatever. Not physically. Well, spiritually, yeah, but not physically. Anyways, hold on 1 second. I'm back. I had to pause for a second again because I'm having distractions in the background. My son's doing something in the kitchen. And my cat is right here sitting beside me, wagging his tail, about to hit my phone while I'm trying to record. So I'm trying not to push him away because I tend to do that when I'm doing stuff that's spiritually. But my spirit guides were like, don't push him away. So I'm dealing with him or whatever. But anyways, as I found something else out about one of my past lives, and I in the past did a meditation, and I was able to tap into my Akashic records, it's a portion of it, a really small portion of it, and doing that meditation, I found out that Larry and I was together in a past life, and so we were married, and so we had a son, and so in that picture of him in the afterlife, I told you all it's a little boy in that picture. Stop, Klaus, wagging your tail. There's a little boy in that picture. And so, Klaus, please, you gonna stop the record. Stop, boy. Stop, big boy. Don't wag your tail. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we had a son. Our son died at a young age. And so, because of that, I was severely depressed. And so, this is why I have a fear of water. I have a fear of going over the bridge. Because in that past life, I was severely depressed. It started messing up our marriage and stuff like that. And so, actually, I went over a bridge and killed both of us. So, that's why I have an issue with going over the bridge. So, when we come here and reincarnate, we have a lot of baggage left over from past lives. Unless we're a new soul that's incarnating for the first time, we have a lot of baggage. And that baggage goes over into each lifetime until we heal those baggages, heal those wounds. And so, so I have to work on that too. But what I learned today or whatever in another past life, that just a little small portion, that I was raped in the past life. So I have issues with sexuality or whatever. In the past as a kid, I was really promiscuous. I don't have a problem with saying it at all. And so I also have issues from this reincarnation as well. And so as a kid, I went through a lot. I can go over that another day. That's not really the big picture right here. I went through a lot as a kid. And the main thing that I didn't learn how to self-love myself. And so that's one of my things I'm here to learn, is to how to really self-love myself. Every aspect of myself, my shadow, my spirit, my body, my soul, whatever else. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And so for me to get past this or whatever, I have to stop trying to fight my shadow and integrate with my shadow. So my spirit guides gave me a list of things I need to do to integrate with my shadow on this first part of my shadow work, my shadow journey. And so, but yeah, so anyways, I went through that stage as a kid, and it was because past life baggage plus this life baggage. As a teenager, I had my son at 16 or whatever. I was in a relationship then when I had him, and then I had him, of course. And after having him, he slowed me down for a while, of course. And so, I went through a stage of not doing anything for a while, this and that. Then, a few months before I met Larry, I went through another stage where I was just promiscuous again. Just point blank, period. And so it's because I didn't love myself. I was almost 300 pounds then. I really had insecurity issues. And so, of course, and so actually I told you guys in the past video that, that, you know, when Larry and I met, I thought we weren't really going to go any further because I thought I fucked up. Point blank, period. Because we ended up having sex the first night. I told you guys that, and I don't care. So anyway, but it didn't work that way or whatever. You know, he kept calling me. We kept talking. We kept hanging out or whatever. And finally, I was just like, what are we doing? Before I could even get it out, he said we're in a relationship. So that was the end of that. And another thing too with twins or whatever, it's common with that. It's common for that to happen because your souls already know each other. This is just your physical 3D body. Your soul is actually that other person's soul. And so, of course, intimacy is one of the big things in that or whatever. And you don't have to, intimacy doesn't have to just be sexual. It can just be, you know, being with that person and other aspects of intimacy. But so yeah, so anyways, but it's not, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about this part of me that I have to heal. So right now I'm having, you know, sexual thoughts and stuff like that, and desires and all that stuff. And like, I don't plan on being with anyone else or whatever. You know, and if I do, Larry's fine with that or whatever. But I don't plan on, because I'm trying to answer this part of my calling. I went through that. I've lived that life. I've had, you know, numerous sexual partners or whatever. Did all that. And so, you know, that was my 3D thing. And so now I need to live more in a higher frequency. So therefore I need to, I'm sorry, my phone is 15%. So anyway, I need to heal that. So that's a part of my shadow. Another thing, I need to stop trying to fight it and stop trying to, you know, forget about it or whatever. Because when you try to fight your shadow, you actually, it's giving your shadow more power over you. And so this has been my thoughts. Wake up in the morning thinking about it, go to sleep thinking about it, just, you know, just really, really bad. And so, anyways, so this is my first part of my shadow work that my spirit guides told me I had to do, and Larry, about my sexual desires is the first part. So, it's 7 things I need to do to integrate with my shadow on this aspect of my shadow work journey. And so I'm gonna give you those things. And so, first of all, I learned that my root and solar chakras they're not blocked. They're not lacking energy. It's too much energy coming through. So I need to dial down the energy in those areas, you know, and so that will help out a little. That's just one aspect of it. And so, let me see, what else I have too much energy flowing through. And so, but that's not a part of the 7 things I need to do. Well, kind of is, whatever. But let me go in order of what I picked up from my spirit guides today. First of all, I need to meditate daily. I haven't been meditating daily. I haven't been doing any of that or whatever. I need to meditate daily. So I'm going to start waking up in the morning meditating. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back, you guys. I've paused so many times in this video because of a lot of distractions. My food went off, so I had to take it out the oven. Anyways, the phone is turned the other direction. So when you see this video, you have to turn your phone the other direction as well. Because I'm charging my phone. It's like on 15% now. Anyways, so these are the things they told me I had to do. 1, meditate daily. Very important. Very important. 2, I need to search my Akashic records more and find out a little bit more about this part of my past life that I need to heal. 3, learn how to truly love myself. And that's a big thing. That's one thing I came here to learn, you know, this lifetime as well. And so Larry's lesson when he was here was to learn how to love and learn how to be loved. And so my thing is learn how to love myself. And so I thought I did that or whatever, but clearly I haven't truly done that. Or I did it a little bit and regressing, it became regress. But anyways, stop fighting my shadow. And so as a part A to that. Okay, and when I mean by stop fighting my shadow, I need to let it say what it's going to say. And that's the part A. Let it say what it's going to say. Let the thoughts come through. Let it say what it's going to say. And so, just stop fighting it. And so, that's really important. Because when you do fight it, you're giving it more energy. Like, just like if anybody's being negative or whatever, and you're steady feeding into their negativity, you're feeding into it, you're giving them more, energy. And so, if you don't react to it, then you know what? They're just going to eventually stop with the negativity, just go somewhere else, So that's pretty much how our shadow is. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I just said that, so I hit my thoughts. Okay. Number 5, talk to my shadow. So to learn how to integrate your shadow, you have to talk to your shadow. You have to have a conversation with your shadow. You have to find out, what it is your shadow wants and what it is that you need to listen to, and just really have a conversation with your shadow. And so something I saw online about how to let your demons guide you without driving you insane. And so you have to learn how to talk to your shadow without letting it consume you. And so, number 6 is stop using the word fight, but rather integrate. So I have to stop fighting my ego, my shadow, and I have to more so say integrate. So when these thoughts come through, I'm just like, okay, I have these thoughts or whatever. I need to integrate with you. Not, okay, I have these thoughts, let me fight you. And then the seventh thing is talk to my inner child. Well, our shadow comes pretty much from my inner child. And so, our shadow self comes from our childhood. It's things that our parents have told us that they didn't mean to intentionally, but it's stuff that was taught to them. And so they taught it to us, and just on and on. They told us what was so-called right and wrong, and we put these things in our mind about what's right and what's wrong. We had at a young age what's good and what's bad. And so yes, if we let our soul guide us, we will know right from wrong. We don't have to be told what's right and what's wrong, or what's so-called good and what's so-called bad. Because on the other side, it's not really looked upon like that. It's looked upon as, a life learned lesson. That's why I do some things, my spirit guides let me be wrong, they let me think I'm wrong, and it's because it's a lesson I need to learn. Or they might tell me to do something that looks like it's bad in my eyes when I'm going through it, but at the end I'm looking like that's the reason why I went through that, because it was something for me to learn out of there, something for my higher purpose. So yes, but anyway, we have this part of us, my inner child, and I was having a conversation with my inner child, and like I think I said in another video, the reading video, that we need to make sure we cultivate our inner child and let he or she know that we're the parent now, we're in control, we're guarding you, you don't have to try to protect us anymore, because our inner child pretty much is trying to protect us. And so that's where these aspects come from our shadow. So your shadow, what is your shadow? Your shadow is everything you don't like about yourself, the insecurities, what you don't like about yourself, the thoughts that you have. All those things and even more makes up your shadow. And so people try to just walk in the light, and that's good and fine, but you just can't walk in the light. You have to learn how to integrate, become one with your shadow. You're still in this human, life. So you're both light and dark. And so, it doesn't mean that because you're integrating, you're not really, embracing, yeah, but you're integrating and embracing your shadow self. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. No, you're learning how to talk to that part of you and integrate with that part. And, it's a lot of benefits when integrating with your shadow. More psychic abilities and a lot of different aspects to change. And you don't have to fight yourself anymore. And so you can see things more clear now and all that. So this is the first part of my shadow work journey. So, starting today, I started meditating more, and I'm going to start meditating every day. So, that's one thing, most important thing I need to start doing is meditating every day. And especially if I don't want to feel this loopiness that I feel sometimes when I'm getting all this contact from my spirit guides, angels, and, other spirits or whatever. And so yes. And so also too, we're going into another dimension. So therefore, we're going to be on a higher frequency. And a lot of people are going to start feeling these changes. And if you try to fight it, it will drive you crazy. I had actually had a video in the past on my Facebook page about the symptoms of going through the awakening, and it's about to drive you crazy or whatever, because you will think you're crazy. And so but you just have to learn how to deal with it, and I can't really tell you how to. You just have to go inward, ask your guides on how to deal with it. And because everybody does things differently, everybody sees things differently. So, so these are the things I need to do to integrate with this first part of my shadow. Then I can go to the other part of my shadow that I have with food, I have with addiction with food and stuff like that. And so yes. And the whole thing, if you see the main point of my journey is to learn how to love myself more. Truly learn how to love myself. And so that comes with all the issues that I have with my shadow. And so yeah. But anyways, this is just a video letting you guys know the first part of this part of my shadow work journey, and let you guys see about where I'm starting. And I know I will eventually evolve, and so I just have to keep up with it. And so if you have any questions about anything about my past, my history, whatever, I'm an open book. You can just ask me and I will tell you. I don't have anything to hide or whatever, you know. And so people are gonna like you or love you. Pretty much, it doesn't matter what you do. You can be the perfect person in the world. People are still gonna have something to say about you. So you just have to stop caring about what people say. And that's another thing too. I have issues about as a kid, I didn't want to be looked at as the bad person. So I sometimes let people run over me because I don't want to be looked at as the bad person and start conflicts. I have to start speaking up for myself. That's another part of my shadow I have to heal. And so that will be on another part of my journey of my shadow work. But first I need to do this. Go in order of doing this, what's constantly on my mind. So yes, so if you have any questions or whatever about me and about my twin, if I can answer, if he allows me to answer, then you know what, just ask me or whatever. Also too, another medium told me, and she's a really good medium. She's become a friend of mine now. She's been doing this 20-some years. She's also a twin as well. But she told me that I have to heal some aspects of Larry's life too. So one thing about being the twin, when our twin passes away, we have some extra baggage. We have to heal some of their own wounds that they didn't heal when they was here, plus ours. And so you can look at it as a curse or not, but like I said before, on the other side, it's not looked upon as bad or good. It's looked upon what's going to be for your greater good. So, you know, you're the twin that was strong enough to stay here to do the work, and they left to help you on the other side. And so so I just wanted to do this video. I was guided to do this video tonight to let you guys see this part of my journey, and let you guys know what I'm doing right now. And so once I get to another, you know, part of this journey, or like I probably do like a part 2 of my shadow with this one, and let you guys know how I'm doing, updates on this video on how I'm doing, how I'm integrating with my shadow, what I'm learning from my shadow. And hopefully, you know, you can do this too. You start looking up integrating with your shadow. I'm not an expert in this, so I can't tell you how to do this or whatever. Hopefully one day I will be able to tell you how to, you know, how to go about it, but right now I can't. I'm learning on my own. I'm learning through reading. I'm learning through my guides, my twin. And so yeah, I wanted to actually learn from someone else personally, but my guides were like, you got this, you can do this yourself, stop trying to go outwards, you have it inwards. So they're pretty much making me do stuff, you know, on my own, and that's fine and dandy or whatever. But yes, so anyways, this is my video on my first part of my shadow work journey. And I will be back with another video update about this part of my shadow and how I've integrated with this part of my shadow and my inner child. And so you guys have a wonderful night. Peace and love from me and Larry. Goodbye.